Hi there, my name is Megan Marshall, and I interned with LCADV, which is Louisiana Coalition Against Domestic Violence. First of all, let me say that this internship was an absolute dream placement. Professor White worked so hard to get them to secure this placement when they have no history of doing it for anyone other than legal internships. It is exactly what I wanted when she first asked me. We had the initial call. What are you interested in? I told her, this is really the only one that comes to mind. I am a current domestic violence advocate as well as a survivor of domestic abuse myself. And I was so interested in learning how they create the laws for victims. I gained tons of insight into how the very practices that I use every single day as an advocate were even created. Every day when I'm working with victims and survivors and their children, it's incredible to see kind of how the sausage was made of, okay, this is a restraining order. And due to this restraining order, these are the steps that happen. And these are the legal steps we can take with you. And I was able to learn how all of that came to be. And their training program alone is completely incredible. I suggest anybody who's interested in domestic violence visiting their website. Their trainings are amazing. All of their resources are just truly thought out and so helpful. My strategic plan objective, well, one of my internship goals was to become a better advocate for domestic violence victims by discovering how laws are made to better protect victims from the repercussions of abuse. Abuse is bad. It is incredibly traumatic, but there are so many rippling effects and repercussions that happen because of it. And I wanted to become a better advocate by learning how I can help control the ripple effects for people. One learning objective was to learn about their history, their structure, and their mission by watching and summarizing so many of their amazing webinars. I completed gun law training and researching the history of LCADV by curating information about the laws enacted resulting from their incredible efforts. I attended more than 10 webinars on the history of LCADV, gun law training, and the laws that are enacted as a result of LCADV efforts, as well as seeing the magic happen for my very own self. I also created a trifold brochure for LCADV that highlights as many services of theirs that I could really express. You'll see at the top that the National Domestic Violence Hotline is on there, Louisiana's, and they are responsible for that. It gives a little bit of their history, it gives all their contact information, and a little bit of information letting you know how to become a member. I also created a firearm toolkit. This is for advocates to know all the laws that happen with firearms when it comes to domestic violence victims. So, one crucial thing to know is that so many domestic violence victims die because of gun violence. And laws are enacted and put into place now to change that. So, this toolkit helps advocates know these are the laws that are in place. Make sure that your local law enforcement is following them. I just want to say I'm impressed with the way they operate. They progress towards the change of the world for victims of domestic violence. Their continual work is truly amazing. My eyes have been opened to how hard it is to get important laws made to protect victims. You think it's nonsensical, but there's so much red tape that you have to go through to have just common sense laws put into place. It's been amazing to be a part of the firearm transfer process. And I was able to see how laws are formed, or even watch a few meetings with the House and Senate to see how people try and push their laws forward. Seeing the way it works is fascinating. The process is intriguing, and he has created an interest in me that I truly did not know was there before. Mariah Wisniewski is the executive director, and she's an amazing human who works tirelessly for something she truly believes in, and you feel that coming through. And Letitia Davis, who was my direct supervisor, is just an absolute dream to work with. She is someone who has her hands in a lot of things and does everything well, as far as I can tell. Um, One final thing I wanted to say. is if you or anyone you know is suffering through an abusive relationship, there's help. There's always help. I've listed the National Domestic Violence Hotline here, as well as JuneandJenkins.com, this domestic violence shelter I work for in Louisiana, and LCADV's website. Also, I've listed my Wix page in case you are interested in getting more information. We're all out here. We need to be safe. Abuse is intolerable. It happens far too often. One in every four women and one in every seven men are victims of domestic violence. And it was an honor to work with LCADV to help our part to put an end to it. Thank you.